So I want to do a video here right now about some of the new features in the Shapester tool and kind of go over how they work and show how they can be used in a circuit board like this one. So this is an RF board, and the task that I have here is to make a 1 millimeter wide perimeter loop that's a plane shape on the ground net. And I also want that perimeter loop to encompass the mounting holes that are near the board outline. So the way I'm going to do this to start out is I'm just going to um, select a plane shape. So I'm in draw mode right now. Select a plane shape and then start to draw a circle. And I'm going to draw a circle, and I have the hover snap turned on. So like when I hover over this mounting hole right here, it goes right to the center. So I just drew a round plane shape because that was what I had already selected over here. So that made another a round plane shape right here. I'm going to set the diameter, in this case, to 7 millimeters. And then I'm going to copy that. So I select it and do Control C to copy. And I have the hover snap turned on, so as I go around and drop these on here, they go right to the middle of all these mounting holes. So this is kind of the first step, which is to create a plane shape around the mounting holes that's slightly bigger than the mounting holes. Of course, you could make it whatever size you wanted if you wanted to be bigger or smaller. Okay, so that's done. And so now I start the Shapester. And we'll just set it right over here. Okay, so the uh, the feature that I want to use here, it's called Make Perimeter Loop Plane Shape. Okay, so in order to use this, I need to give it a net name, and I need to give it a width right here. So I'm going to select the ground net GND, and then I'm going to put the width in here as 1 millimeter. Um, so this board has units set in millimeters right now. And so if I just hit this button right now, it's going to create this plane shape right here. So it just created a plane shape. It follows the route border, and it's 1 millimeter wide. So now that's step 2, which is to create the loop. But now I want to join all these together. Okay. So Shapester has a really nice way of doing that. In this case, I want to join them together, and I want to kind of make some webs between here to put it all together. In some of these places, like right here. I don't want these sharp corners in there, right? So what I do is Shapester can make planes from other planes. So in this case, in some cases, I do it where they get oversized, like bigger than the source shapes. But in this one, I'm just going to set this oversized to 0 so that they don't grow at all. I'm going to set the corner mode to round, and this hug pad slider, I'm going to just kind of randomly guess and put it about right here. What this controls is how big the web that would get across here will be. Like the farther to the left this is, the tighter it will be. Like it would be really small, and the farther to the right it will be, the bigger it will get. So that's what that's about. And so then I'm just going to go around and select. So in draw mode, I select these plane shapes and the perimeter shape there. So I'm just going to go around the whole board, select all these. Oh, wait a second, I just forgot something. In order for this to work, because this is actually a plane shape with a cutout in it, if we try and join it together, what it's going to do is just fill up the whole entire board. So the way to get around that is to just take a little chunk out of it. And it's easiest to do this in a straight segment of it, so you can easily put it back later on. So I'm just going to create a little rectangular plane shape here, and then select the bigger one, and then use the subtract tool to take it out of there. Okay, so there we go. So we select that, and then like before, we go and select all these other plane shapes around here on these mounting holes. Okay, so those are all selected now, and I have this set up in the Shapester tool. No oversize, the hug pad slider about right there, and in round mode. So then I just hit this make plane button right here. And so what it's going to do is it's going to join all these things together and smooth out all the corners. So there, it's done. Okay. Now, if I didn't like how tight this was, I could just hit this undo button over here and then reselect and then move the slider. Like if I slide it way down here and do it, you can see that the resulting shape is now much tighter in the corners. Okay, so I actually kind of want it to be like that. So the point is that you can change it if you don't like it. All right, so that's good. Now the thing is that when this rounds these corners, kind of webs them in here, sometimes it does things like this, like where it comes across these openings or other like places where the plane is like near itself in another spot. So Shapester also has a nice little tool to help get rid of that. So let's see, I'm going to unhighlight, select the plane, and then there's this feature right here that says trim plane to route border. So you do that, and then it just trims everything back to the very edge of the route border. Okay, so now the plane shape is in there, and what I would also probably want to do is to add some vias to this thing right here. So I'm going to use the add ground vias tool to do that. So we will make sure that right here the ground net is selected. I'm going to choose a via. Let's see, I'll use this 1910 via right here. And then right here, I'll set the spacing to 1.5 millimeters, which is about 60 mils. And I have DRC turned on, so it's not going to make any errors as it puts these in here. And then I got this add stitching vias to route border. So we'll just click that on there. And right here down at the bottom, it says adding stitching vias to route border. Okay, so it just got done. Put them in there. So you see the vias are right along the route border, all around the whole outside of the board. And so now the only other thing left to do is, since I just created this on the top layer, I just switched to the bottom layer. I want to actually just duplicate it onto the bottom layer really quick. So I'm just going to select it here in Shapester, copy, select the bottom layer, which I think this is an 8-layer board. Yeah, so I'll just put 8 in here and paste. And it gives me a little warning that says, are you really sure you want to do that? So I say yes, and then I switch to the bottom of the board, and there it is. So now the only thing to do is to put this back together. So real easy way to do that is just to draw a rectangle and set the snap mode on. Go from there to there, and then just grab this and that, hit the combine button right here, and same thing on the top. And I could have done this before copying it to the bottom, would have worked just as well. But there it is. Perimeter, loop, plane shape, combined with mounting holes. all around the outside of the board on both sides, top and bottom. That's it.